Last time on Shadow Peace, after spending some time together with Hyrodine and his crew, they decided to leave Wano. Meanwhile, on another island, an unknown group is fighting for their survival and are now scheming one last thing before leaving behind their base of operations. The biggest decision they had to make was sending away a newborn boy. This child was meant to be their ray of hope for the future, and now they have to believe that wherever the pod will bring the boy will truly be the safest place for him. A lot of things are happening all around the world, but our main focus remains on the Thriller Pirates. Saying their goodbyes to the friends and allies they made in the country of samurai is important, and so is giving Momonosuke a flag of the Thriller Pirates. Now, Wano is 100% a nation protected by a pirate crew. Sanji decided to remain with us as well. Growing stronger under Absalom's guidance and just seeing a bit more of what the world has to offer is a good idea after all. However, one person will remain in Wano, and it isn't who you think it is. Obviously, Yamato, the Yakuza bosses, Scabbards, Momo, and Kaido's crew remain in Wano, and Carrot goes back to Zou with all of the other minks, her being the new queen of the country. Well, all of the minks besides Nekomamushi and Inuarashi. The one person I am talking about is Shimotsuki Ryuma. You may ask yourself, but how can he stay behind if Moriya's fruit powers are limited by range? The answer is simple. Before leaving Wano, they heard a lot about Hisanashi from the local temples, and Moriya learned about a technique called Death Domain. This ability allows our Shadow Emperor to change a chosen location to his own domain. Inside this location, Moriya's powers grow even stronger, and even if he isn't anywhere nearby, Ryuma could remain in the world of the living. A very convenient power, especially because the dojo Ryuma wanted to live in is now connected to the Thriller Bark. Let me give you a more detailed explanation. Ryuma's dojo is what we would call a subdomain now, while the entire Thriller Bark ship is the main domain. In one location of the Thriller Bark castle, there now exists a portal room, with which anyone can travel between the main domain and any of the subdomains. This solves the problems of Ryuma's wishes to remain in Wano and train all of the samurai. The loss of his strength is significant for the Thriller Pirates, but Moriya made this decision after a careful consideration. Wano is, after all, now under his protection as well, so leaving someone there only makes sense. Hyrudine's ship was put inside the Thriller Bark, and the giants are all on the main ship. Seeing the corpse of Ors lie there lifeless makes it clear to the giants why Hyrudine had his shadow return suddenly. Normally, the island-sized ship just drifts through the ocean, but now they have a clear goal in mind. Using an eternal pose, our next adventure will lead us to the home of the giants, Elbaf. It takes a few days to sail from Wano to Elbaf, so the pirates have a bit of downtime. Conversations take place, practice battles are being held, and good times are happening. For Krona and the others, it was a big surprise when the giants rejected their invitation to eat together. Apparently they are currently fasting in preparation for the Winter Solstice festival, and they already had their yearly ingestions of semla. It is an Elbafian tradition to hold such a festival every year to celebrate the death and rebirth of the sun. It is said that once the festival is over, the sun's warmth will return and the end of the winter season is there. This year, the festival will be even bigger than normally, according to Gert, the only female giant on the crew. While everybody else is eating, Hyrudine starts talking about the importance of this year's festival. Everybody in Elbaf is really close to each other. That's also the reason why we all hate Big Mom for trying to trick our prince. Elbaf was once very close to forming a family bond with the Charlotte family, because Prince Loki fell in love with one of Big Mom's children. However, Big Mom tried to fool us all by using the twin sister of the prince's love. There's no way we could ever forgive her for that deception, and the other things she did in the past. The 4 giants in the crew nod heavily. Every giant despises Big Mom and her family for what they have done. If it was just the Thriller Pirates, everyone would just continue to eat and listen to the giant's story, but one person interrupts him, slamming his hand on the table, resulting in clinking noises being made by the plates and cutlery. I know she isn't perfect, but Big Mom gave me a loving family, a loving wife, and a place I can call home. I won't stand for you talking about her like that. Sanji yells straight at Hyrudine's face. This is an unforeseen circumstance. Without prior knowledge about the relationship between the Elbafian giants and the Big Mom Pirates, no one could have predicted this. A bit louder than before, Hyrudine reacts to what Sanji just said. Huh? You are a Charlotte? I thought you were just a new member of the Thriller Pirates. Everything I said is true. Big Mom is the worst kind of human in our history. Using his high speed, Sanji sprints over to the giant. He may be much smaller in size, but his willpower makes more than up for it. I don't know about her past. Even when I lived in Whole Cake Island, she sometimes went on food rampages. However, her dream is pure good. A place where every race can live in peace and harmony? You can't tell me that is a bad thing. Don't make her out to be a savior. She is scum that needs to disappear. Pyrodine continues to share his innermost thoughts, and all of the other giants also grab their weapons and enter their battle positions. Maria's laugh fills the room and everybody's attention falls directly on him. While I do enjoy myself a nice conflict, both of you are guests on my island. His cheerful attitude switches quickly when a wave of fear lashes out from his body. But don't you dare destroy my castle. Just get along. The giants and Sanji fall on the ground, shaking in fear, but as soon as Maria stops this ability, they feel normal again. Pyrodine and his crew are astonished by how strong Maria has become. They last saw him at Zou, and yet he is like a completely different person now. While all of them are standing up, Maria continues. To begin with, you guys don't have any problems with each other personally. Maria points at the two groups with his knife. What your parents did shouldn't define you. You are your own person. And who knows, Big Mom might even be dead for all we know. Sanji gets a bit depressed hearing that Big Mom might be dead, but he can't deny the possibility. Especially for Sanji, it makes sense to not judge somebody for what their parents did, but Pyrodine understands that as well. While the blonde cook may be innocent, the giants will never give Big Mom another chance. The atmosphere between Sanji and the giants became a bit tense for the remaining part of the journey, even if all of them knew that the people present are innocent and generally nice people. The Thriller Bark Island is now very close to Elbaf, and Maria, together with Pyrodine, has gone to the front-facing part of the giant ship. What falls into Maria's sight is something he has never before seen. Similar to Wano, Elbaf is not directly accessible by ship. The island is located on what seems to be an enormous mountain. According to Rhodes, the navigator of the new giant warrior pirates, a stream of water carries the ships into the island. Just like the reverse mountain has rivers flowing upwards violently, Elbaf has a challenging entrance, so that only true brave warriors can enter the island. But Moria also traveled over the reverse mountain the first time he entered the Grand Line, so upwards flowing water is not what surprises him. Right at the entrance, two giants are standing on small boats. Well, relatively speaking. For a giant these are small boats, but for humans they would still be pretty decently sized. And behind them is a titanic gate, something bigger than everything Moria has seen in the world. It can even be compared to the guardian of the bridge in Hell. Truly a sight to behold, and probably the inspiration for the world government's Gates of Justice. Now we are in front of Elbaf, about to enter our next island, joining the giants in the Winter Solstice Festival and encountering twists here and there. Get ready for the next arc of Shadow Peaks. And that's all for me for today. I hope you enjoyed this video like the one before, and now all that's left for me to be said is stay happy, stay healthy, and most importantly stay cultured. See you again, bye!